ASTAROTH, The Long Loud Silence compilation. Unofficial release. ASTAROTH's journey through the 80s metal scene is one of those stories that might not have the fame or mainstream success of some of their peers, but it's a story worth telling for anyone who appreciates the raw spirit of the era. Formed in Rome in 1982 by drummer John Panko Onofri and guitarist Steve Lenti, the band initially took shape before Lenti was replaced by Max Sapicchia. This shift would go on to define their sound and direction in the years to come. Their debut mini-album, The Long Loud Silence, released in 1985, is often regarded as a hidden gem of 80s metal, and for good reason. The record is a perfect snapshot of the era's heavy, speed metal scene, heavily influenced by the German metal bands of the time, most notably Accept, Early Running Wild and Helloween. From the very first track, Die to Be Alive, the energy is undeniable. Riffs that hit hard, choruses that stick with you, and a driving force that embodies the metal spirit of the mid-80s. There's something timeless about the way ASTAROTH channels these influences while carving out their own space within the genre. What stands out about The Long Loud Silence is not just the music, but the atmosphere it creates. The band was clearly channeling the heavy metal fervor of the NWBHM movement and groups like Judas Priest, blending fast tempos with powerful, almost anthemic moments. For fans of speed metal, it's a must-listen, but it also serves as a beautiful reminder of a time when metal was still very much in its formative years, eager to expand its boundaries. But ASTAROTH's story doesn't start and end with that 1985 release. Before The Long Loud Silence, they had already recorded a demo in 1983 called Speed Black Metal. The demo was raw, with the kind of gritty energy that only an early band in the throes of finding their sound can have. It's clear from the very first listen that ASTAROTH was still evolving, but you can also hear the seeds of what would later become their defining sound. Tracks like Black Priest, Resurrection Day, and Evil Touch are fast and aggressive, and there's a touch of darkness that borders on the early black metal vibes that bands like Venom and Hellhammer were pushing at the time. It's rough around the edges, but that's part of the charm. As the band moved into 1987, they relocated to Los Angeles, hoping for a fresh start and a shot at a bigger break. Unfortunately, the transition wasn't as smooth as they'd hoped. After facing countless challenges, including industry rejections and the dissolution of their record label, the members of ASTAROTH eventually went their separate ways. It seemed like their story might have ended there, but fate had other plans. After 18 years apart, the band reformed. Max, Shining, and Jan decided to put the pieces back together and see what they could still create. By 2006, they were back in Los Angeles, recording a batch of previously unreleased songs, material that would finally see the light of day. But it's their earlier work, particularly the 1983 demo and The Long Loud Silence mini-LP, that has remained the true legacy for most fans. If you manage to get your hands on a copy of The Long Loud Silence, especially the version that includes the demos, it's like holding a piece of forgotten history. But beyond its value as a collector's item, the album itself is a relic of a time when metal was about heart, soul, and making the music you loved, regardless of whether or not the world was paying attention. ASTAROTH's sound evolves over the years, but there's something beautiful in their progression. From the raw, unpolished sound of their 1983 demo to the more melodic metal direction they were moving toward in their 1988 demo. One thing that's impossible to ignore when looking at ASTAROTH is their iconic image. The band's aesthetic, inspired by ancient Roman soldiers, made them stand out not only for their music but for their visual identity. It's not just a gimmick, it's a reflection of the power and aggression they brought to the stage. The image of ASTAROTH dressed in armor, ready for battle, complements their music perfectly, a mix of power, aggression, and a touch of ancient mysticism. ASTAROTH may not have reached the heights of some of their contemporaries, but their story deserves to be heard, especially for those who are still searching for the hidden gems of the 80s metal scene. Their journey shows what it means to be a part of a scene without fully belonging to it, to struggle and fight for your place, and to never completely give up on the music that defines you. So, if you're a fan of 80s metal or even just someone looking to dig deeper into the archives of the past, ASTAROTH's music is worth your time. Listen to The Long Loud Silence, explore their demos, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find yourself joining the legion of fans who've kept their legacy alive over the years. Review by Nick Parastatidis.